Home for Intelligent Black People. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Today, I'm going to share something that's probably going to break your heart. It turns out that Will Smith and Jada have been separated for years, that their whole marriage scenario, some would say, was, I'm not going to say fraudulent because I think those are mean words, but it doesn't look like it was real. And I'm going to actually talk about this. You guys know years ago, I wrote a book called Financial Lovemaking, and it's all about topics like this. And so I want to kind of give you an economic perspective on this that you're not going to hear anywhere else in media. And so get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clearing the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I want to welcome everybody as you come on in. Do me a favor really quick. First and foremost, give me a quick yes to let me know if you can hear me. Give me a yes to let me know my audio is coming through okay. I am on hotel Wi-Fi, and when you're in a hotel, you got to double check to make sure that everything is connected the way it's supposed to be. So give me a quick yes if you can. Quick sound check, microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Give me a quick yes. All right. So anyway, guys, let's hop right into it. I'm going to get on a flight soon. Thank you, Anthony Ruffin and Teresa Dockery and Namki and let's see, Ironwork and Anthony Ruffin. I appreciate all of you very, very much. Hit that thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And also don't forget this podcast is on Spotify. We've got over 1 million downloads on Spotify and Apple, stuff like that. So feel free to check that out if you believe in independent, intelligent, Black-owned media. So how many of you, give me a yes or no, give me a yes or no in the chat. How many of you heard the story? It looks like Will and Jada just admitted in an interview, I guess, to promote a new book that she is putting out. She just admitted that she and Will have not been together for 7 years. According to my interpretation of it was that basically they've been separated for 7 years, that they have been publicly putting on what could be defined as a facade of being a married couple, that they were denying the rumors that they were not together. They were pretty much going in public and giving the impression that they were a couple, which, if you recall, back during when they had that crazy red table talk where they were talking about this whole situation between Jada dating, I guess that singer August Alsina, who looked like he was so young he should have been in daycare. Jada out here dating the little 8-year-olds. But anyway, he wasn't 8 years old. He was more like 28, but he was a friend of one of her kids. And a lot of people saw that to be kind of strange, right? Kind of odd. I can't imagine myself dating one of my children's friends. I think that would be a little bit off limits. However, it is what it is. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you, at that time, I remember saying to my wife, I said, this don't seem like much of a marriage to me. But there's a couple interesting ways to kind of look at this, and this is a particularly of particular interest to me because years ago I wrote a book called Financial Lovemaking, and in that book, the subtitle is "Merging Assets with Your Partner in Ways That Feel Good." And I spent a lot of time writing and talking about these topics in terms of how love and money kind of mix, and there are fewer examples of the depth of an economic and physical and spiritual and emotional relationship than what you'll see with Will and Jada. Will and Jada's marriage, it wasn't just a marriage. It wasn't just two people hooking up and hanging out. It was an institution. It was an institution. Millions of people knew about their marriage and were watching them and looking at them as an example. There were legal arrangements that have to be carefully considered. There were massive, probably $1 billion worth of financial issues between the two of them. And so it wasn't just a simple sort of, I'm with my girlfriend and we want to break up now kind of situation, right? So there are a couple of perspectives that I would have on this, and I'm going to be very brief with this because I don't have a lot of time and I know you don't, so I want to make this quick for you. The first is, honestly, there's a part of me that wants to put it in perspective, that almost has a type of admiration for Will and Jada, for the way they kind of process this. Again, you can agree or disagree as to whether or not they should have stayed married or not. It's totally up to you. But I admire the maturity with which they handled the majority of this, right? The maturity says, you know what? We're not going to be crazy. We're not going to make this overly messy. We're not going to go out and just focus on what we're doing emotionally. We're going to think about the other variables that are impacted by our decision to stay together or not stay together. Because I got the impression that Jada felt that they weren't quite ready to tell everybody, that they had things going on that needed to be protected. They were thinking about business relationships. They were thinking about their brand as a couple. They were also thinking about their children, right? And so to some extent, you could, if you wanted to, you don't have to agree with this. Give me a yes if you understand this. I'm not here to tell you what to think, but there's a certain amount of admiration for the fact that they both seem to be playing the same game of sort of realizing that the marriage was bigger than them. The marriage was bigger than their sort of, just, it's me and you and how much I like you and how big your booty is and all these other silly things, right? Now, the other side of that, that you can point to, though, is the challenge, or perhaps I'm not gonna. You could make it a criticism if you want, but I'm not here to criticize them because remember, most people who have something to say about this don't know what it's like to be married over 20 something years, right? First and foremost, let me just make that clear. I think, let me see here. Let's see, what year were Will and Jada married? They were married in 1997. So everybody give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no. How many of y'all have been married since 1997? Let's see, what's this, 2023? That's 26 years. Some of y'all ain't even 26 years old. Some of y'all ain't even 26 years old, right? And remember, this is not just a conversation for intelligent Black people. This is a conversation for grown-ass Black people in terms of being mature, right? Some of y'all, I'm going to be honest with you, some of y'all have a lot to say, but don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what it's like to have been together since the 90s. Like that right there, even if they were to divorce tomorrow or divorce yesterday, they've accomplished more than 99% of all people in this country. Like, can we at least applaud that? Can we at least say, hey, good job for trying? Because remember, in 1997, Will had vagina thrown at him from every corner of the earth. There was no city on the planet Will couldn't have went to and found a pretty girl ready to jump into bed with him that night. Give me a yes if you understand. Jada was as beautiful as the day is long. She done hung out with guys like Tupac. She could have dated Tupac and had been a widow, right? So there's a lot of options Jada had, but they chose each other, right? And I admire that. Call me crazy, call me stupid, call me old-fashioned, but I admire people who try even when they don't succeed. I just do. I applaud them, because a lot of y'all may be too young to understand them. Maybe you think the Black community done got so damn ratchet that we don't believe in family no more. In that case, you're in alignment with white people. They also believe that our fathers don't love their children, and that mothers don't give a damn about being with nobody because they so strong and independent. They don't need no man, right? Well, you know what? I'm gonna counter that and say, shout out to all of y'all who believe in each other and believe in Black love and believe in Black family and understand a basic principle that's gonna sound crazy and old-fashioned, which is that Black children and all children are better off typically when they have both parents in the house and are able to be raised in a condition that provides some degree of stability. Can we at least agree on that? Give me a yes if we can at least agree on that. Or if I've just lost my mind completely and we've just abandoned all of our children to absolute chaos and nonsense, which will explain, by the way, why your community is in the shambles that it is. Why teachers can't even educate kids because they come into school ratchet and crazy, dusty, unprepared for anything, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them. Right. I think we deserve better than that. I think our kids deserve better than that. So I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna start right there with that. And also, I have a little bit of a personal relationship with the Smith family. Will's brother Harry. I've talked to him for several hours at a time on multiple occasions. I like this guy a lot. And Will comes from a very intelligent family, and I respect that immensely. So with that said, though, let me throw in a critique. I think that when you get to the point where what people don't understand is that sometimes being famous can be a trap. Having a big brand can be a trap. You can be trapped by your audience. And I would love to ask the Smith family how they feel about the fact that they had to pretend for 7 years just to appease people that don't live in their house, or that they had to sort of be in a situation where they had to think about all these variables that might have been a distraction in their ability to work out their problems. See, I want y'all to understand, if I talk about a celebrity topic like this, I'm not here to gossip about anybody's relationship. This is not the Wendy Williams show. We take the conversation to the next level because you don't understand the world, the universe, and the world is your university. There are so many real life examples. As a finance professor that I see, especially since I wrote that book, Financial Lovemaking, all about how love and money mix together. There's so many lessons you can learn, and you don't have to step on a college campus to learn them. So I've made the world into your campus. Some people, smart people, will get it. Some people won't. They'll think, oh, well, he's just talking about this gospel stuff. I guarantee you, you won't go to any other platform on this planet and hear the same conversation about this topic. Everybody's going to talk about the gossipy part. No, I'm here to talk about the higher level discussion of protecting the very important institution of the Black family, which is essential for your survival, which was the number one thing they sought to destroy, because they knew that if they destroyed the family, they were destroying you. If they knew that if they could convince Black men to hate Black women and Black women to hate Black men and Black people to not be able to build families, that you would be easy to control. The women would run off and go marry the government, which is what they have. Some of our women, unfortunately, are more married to Joe Biden than they are to a Black man. They'll show more respect to their boss than they'll ever show to their husband. That's the society they wanted to create for you. And some of the men, y'all so gone, you hate your damn mothers. You're talking crazy. You got whole platforms that sit around and talk crazy about Black women, which is like sitting around and saying, my mama's a hoe, my mama's a dirtbag, my mama's a 304, my mama's a slut, my mama ain't nothing, my mama's worthless. Well, shame on you. Shame on you, because you've been taught to do that. So this is a deeper discussion than just, are Will and Jada really married? Honestly, I don't know. I don't care. But I do wonder, honestly, if some of this fame and wealth distracted from their ability to fix their marriage. I will tell you this. My wife and I, we do our podcast called Pillow Talk. We talk together, and I'm gonna bring my wife in because my wife sees couples and individuals and families. She's a therapist. She's a full professor and a therapist. But one thing we won't ever do is we watched the Red Table Talk, and I don't know how many of y'all felt the same way, but when I saw the Red Table Talks, when they got into those real heavy, juicy topics, like real deep topics, I almost got sick. I was like, why would you? I don't understand. I mean, is the Facebook money, the money you were getting to do Facebook TV, was the money so good that you were willing to sort of undermine your own dignity by revealing things that I don't think needed to be revealed? I really don't. I understand the goal to be honest and everything else, but I felt that the Red Table Talk gave the impression that it was a higher level conversation, but then it just kind of got on this weird vibrational frequency. I didn't really hear Jada talk about her porn addiction. I didn't. I don't think her kids want to. I don't think any child wants to hear about their mama's porn addiction. I just don't. I didn't want to hear about Jada sleeping with that guy, August Alsina. I felt like that was TMI. I feel like that's the kind of thing that needs to be sort of handled quietly or behind closed doors or within the family. I don't think the internet is full of just these vulturous, predatory people that will take something that's a serious family issue. I mean, slept with one of your kids' friends. They take that serious family issue and they make it into this entertainment thing, right? And I felt like that was a little bit too much, right? So sometimes fame can be a little bit of a trap, and the money can be a little bit of a distraction, because I can't help but feel that their desire for attention with the Red Table Talk was a little bit too much, to the point where it undermined the way we see this beautiful family, this esteemed family. It made it harder to see that what they accomplished by being married for 20 something years. And again, I still think they should be applauded for that. Trying, right? There are a lot of people who will never try. You're going to go through this in your own life. Most of the people who criticize you when you fail are going to be people who ain't never tried to do a damn thing. Give me a yes if you know what I'm talking about. The people quickest to criticize you when you do something and you don't succeed are the people who ain't doing shit, who ain't doing nothing, right? So I would encourage you, don't ever, ever, ever let people like that make you feel bad about the fact that you tried. Divorce is, in my view, is not a failure. It to me means you at least gave it a shot and said, I want to try to create some stability in this chaotic world. I want to have a stable family. I value these things. I value commitment and everything else. And so if somebody, has like had a new girlfriend every 2 weeks for the last 8 years, or some lady slept with 85 men in the last 6 months, and she's criticizing your marriage or telling you how to respond to your spouse or whatever, those people should not be listened to. I'm sorry. A marathon runner does not take advice from a sprinter. Do you understand? A marathon runner doesn't need to be listening to somebody who can only run a 100-yard dash. And some of y'all got relationships, people, and I don't want to insult anybody. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm talking about how to stay in your lane. So if you only run 100-yard dashes, be very careful about trying to tell a marathon runner, oh, you just need to run harder, or you running hard enough, you weren't running fast enough. You don't know, you will never know as a sprinter what it's like to be on the 18th mile of a 26-mile marathon where you are about to pass out and you don't feel like you can go another inch. You won't know. So one other thing I'll throw in here, and actually before I do that, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And I want to remind everybody that the whole B1 Nation is getting together for the AllBlack National Convention in Atlanta on October 20th. If you'd like to join us, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. We will have virtual passes available in the next couple of days. You can also still be a vendor or a sponsor if you have a business and you want people to know about your business. And also, if you'd like to get profit alerts from me or a list of AI stocks that I like, things like that, free things that we give away in the Black Business School to help the community, feel free to text the word stock to 31996. You guys know I'm a finance professor. My PhD's in finance, and I love sharing knowledge and information. I gave some profit alerts today on the Black Financial Channel, but you can go to theblackfinancialchannel.com and feel free to take a look at that. Or you can also text the word stock to 31996. Hit that thumbs up button. Okay, so last piece I'll throw in here is this. If you go down this path that Jada and Will chose to go, and it looks to me like they're finally throwing in the towel publicly, they're finally letting the public know, like, hey, the reason our marriage looked a little awkward is because we really weren't totally married, the whole time anyway. And I agree with you. He says, oh, no, Brown, things are staged. Yeah, a lot of things are staged. A lot of things aren't real. So it's not. I don't think it's beneficial to you to get relationship advice or imagery from celebrities, because a lot of celebrities, they live a different life from you. Their world is very different from the world of regular people. So if I were you and I'm looking for role models for my relationship, I would be looking for people that people that who've done the damn thing for 20, 30, 40 years. My number one advisor on my marriage is my dad. Why? Well, because I saw my dad sit there next to my mama for 50 years. They are celebrating their 50th year anniversary this year. Let's clap for that, because I know how hard it was. I watched it happen. And that's the guy I go to when I say, I'm having this issue with Alicia. What do I do? Right? Because he's the one that's going to say, okay, you go back home to your wife. Here's what you say. Here's how you handle that, because he's been there, done that. There are a lot of, give me a yes if you've seen this. Give me a yes if you know what I'm talking about. There are so many unqualified relationship gurus on the internet that it's ridiculous. There are so many people that have whole channels where all they do is talk about relationships and give bad relationship advice, who ain't got no degree and no type of therapy. There are real counselors in your community that you get ignored for people that show up maybe with a big booty or a bunch of muscles and sit here and tell you what you want to hear. They get ignored. So you ignore the health food so you can go eat the candy. You ignore what's good for you so you can find somebody that's just going to tell you what's going to validate your previously existing very bad opinions. Give me a yes if you've seen this. There are so many unqualified people online who are talking about things where they don't have a degree, don't have any experience, and are giving horrible advice and can't even tell you nothing good about their own relationship. But yet you sit up here listening to this guy or listening to this crazy lady and letting her or him tell you how to live your life. Don't you dare do that. Intelligent people don't do that. Intelligent people assess the quality of the information that they're receiving. They assess the background of the person who's giving the advice. You can't sit around and hate on me if you ain't done more than me. You can't sit around and criticize what I'm doing unless you've done something similar. If you can't do more than me, then why in the hell am I going to listen to you? The only thing you could teach me is how to be less than what I already am, or to how to go lower than where I'm trying to go. I ain't trying to listen to nobody who is a loser in every area of their life, but somehow is trying to tell me that I didn't win enough battles. No, I want to be a winner, so I'm going to go listen to winners. So when you're talking about relationships, listen to the winners. Stop listening to the losers, because the losers are very good at doing a whole lot of yapping. You got a whole lot of yapping and not a lot of action. A whole lot of people that can tell you what to do, but they ain't doing it themselves. Do not fall for the nonsense. So with Will and Jada, let me just say this. I'm gonna say this and I'm done. I wish them the best. I have part of me that applauds them for trying to maintain some type of stability for the sake of the children. The children are now grown. I encourage them. I'm not a big fan of red table talks. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if you got plenty of money, I'd say shut it down so you could focus on creating the best environment for those kids. But again, I'm just a guy who's talking from a position where I don't know their family directly, so I'm going to be really careful about that part. But I will say for yourselves, remember that one thing Will and Jada understand very well, and I think you can learn from this, is that marriage is not just two people hooking up. Marriage is not just two people getting together because you think somebody else is cute. Marriage is not like dating. Marriage is an institution. Marriage is a financial arrangement. It is a business deal. It is a legal structure. And understanding all this and how that blends with your emotional disposition is extremely important, so you know how to make your next move and how to make it strategically. So, ladies, if you go and you marry a guy because the penis is good, then you're ignoring all the other reasons why you might want to or not want to marry this man. Fellas, if you trust in a big butt and a smile, and you go and make a business deal and a financial deal and a legal arrangement with a woman who is not a fit for your family, who's not a fit for your future, who's not a fit for where you want to be in life, then you will suffer tremendously, particularly in the financial area, but also in terms of emotionally and psychologically and spiritually. Right. So I would encourage everybody to be strategic, and whatever arrangements you make, I'm not telling everybody, I'm not here to tell everybody to get married. I don't do that. I don't give advice I don't even give financial advice. I did an interview the other day. A guy asked me about the Tulsa Fund. I said, look, I don't give financial advice on my channel. So I might tell you what I did, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. But when I am here, the only thing I would tell you to consider is to think carefully about your next move. And understand that the hardest part about making your next move, if you want to live an excellent life, is to accept the idea that most people are doing it wrong. If you don't believe me, look at how much misery there is in the community. Look at how much complaining there is. Look at how many platforms there are with men who sit and just complain about how women have burned them because they didn't make good choices in terms of how they selected. Look at how many women are distressed and disappointed and lonely and sad. A lot of that is because they were getting advice from the wrong people, not courageous enough to make independent choices, and were following the crowd. They were following the sheep to slaughter. Don't be a sheep or you will get slaughtered too. All I'm asking you is to be a free thinker. That's what I can help you with that if you allow me to, if you're interested in what I have to say. All right, I gotta go. I'm late for my flight. Hit that thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. My website is boycewatkins.com. There's lots of stuff there related to what I'm doing and what ways we can help you financially and otherwise in the Black Business School. My new book is called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, which is all about family wealth and economic culture. It's an amazing book. A lot of people love it. Just go to drboycebooks.com. You can also get our financial workbooks for children, financial flashcards. We have a whole lot of great stuff for the whole family. So drboycebooks.com. Our kids will ship you the stuff. It's a family business. And last but not least, the AllBlack National Convention is October 20th in Atlanta. If you'd like to join us at the AllBlack National Convention, it's going to be amazing. We really worked hard on this all year long. It's the best gathering of B1 intelligent Black people from around the world, not driven by celebrities, not driven by nonsense, not driven by Democrat, Republican stuff, driven by intelligent people who love Black people, who love family, who believe in Black women, believe in Black men, who are gathering as experts and non-experts to solve problems in our community. So if you're about that life, join us. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.